there are very many questions that need to be asked when it comes to the Kenya education system. There needs to be an overhaul there. And of course, there needs to be a change in regime so that you can get new people there with a different point of view, different perspective, to be able to provide Kenyan children with an education that can help them in their life. So when it comes to the Kenya education system, there seems to be an underlying assumption that majority of Kenyan children come from homes that are financially stable, a two-parent home, financially stable, and they have all these resources available to them to help them in their educational journey. And the reality is, majority of Kenyan children who are going to public school do not have this. Some of them come from homes whereby the parents can't read and write. They don't have parents. Their parents are not involved. And the parents they are not involved for various reasons. There are parents who are not involved because, of course, they don't care. And the other parents they're dead. They're not available, okay? So these children are staying with relatives, with their guardians, with their aunts and uncles. So the Kenya education system needs to be designed to cater for the most vulnerable, not the worst case scenario, but the most vulnerable students. And it does not. The CBC, CBE system does not. Because can this system be able to help a student who does not have any parents, who lives in Rift Valley, those banditry areas, or in the northern region, or in the coast regions, those areas where they can't attend school throughout the whole term because the bandits attack the schools, and they have to shut down. So they go to school for like 1 month, and then the rest of the 3 months, 2 months, they're at home. Can this education system be able to absorb such students? So the education system needs to be looked at from a point of view of the most vulnerable students in the system. It needs to be able to absorb the most vulnerable students in the system. And not just the education system, the healthcare system. This is public. This is not the private sector. And children who come from stable home backgrounds, financially stable homes, parents of those children take them to private schools. So this idea that you're designing a public school system, the education curriculum, to cater for private schools does not make any sense. They are private because they are not public. And when you have public, the government needs to cater for, because public schools are the responsibility of the Kenya government. So there needs to be a change in regime because William Ruto and Uhuru before that, they did a horrible job when it comes to this transition. And there needs to be a perspective shift that happens in that ministry, and even in the healthcare ministry, in all the ministries, because the government offers public services. They don't offer private. And this idea of privatizing the government, and this goes also to parastatals, privatizing everything. Like, the government needs money. The parastatals need to make money for the government. I'm not sure which part of public that somebody like William Ruto does not get, because he's trying to privatize all the parastatals. That's why they're trying to collapse these parastatals. They're getting hacked and all this other stuff because they want to make sure that they collapse these parastatals so they can buy them at a throwaway price. And the government needs parastatals to be able to come up with money that they can use to aid in financing some of these services that are public. So the government the job of the government is not private schools, to cater to private schools, is to cater to the public. Public, guys, public.